And
both of them.
Arsenal had a miserable end to the year, didn't they, in terms of results, and
Yeah.
split from top to fourth. I'm reading now, Big Angela saying Tottenham not only top four, but title contenders. What's your view on it now, sort of halfway through the season?
Well, we're certainly going to get players back, Tottenham, and they're quite impressed with him. I know they didn't win the game yesterday, and to be fair, McTominay could have won the game very easily at the end with that header. But you got to think like that. That's positive, and players want to hear your manager say that. Really, I mean, he's not putting too much pressure on the players. You know, you've got some big players coming back now. They made a couple of signings during that window, so you can't discount Tottenham. There's no doubt about that. But you know, the bookmakers don't get it wrong too often, and there'd be a big price to win the league. I think from Tottenham's point of view, I believe the FA Cup's a bigger game. I really believe Tottenham, if they can beat Man City in the FA Cup and have a good run in that, and maybe get to the final and win it, and they've got potential they could do that. That is a bigger trophy to win for me, because that's where everybody has a go at Tottenham, where they don't win anything, where they're close and this, that, whatever. But if they can have a good run in that FA Cup, which I will be playing, obviously we'll play strongest team, I'm sure, and try and get a good run there. But top four, I certainly believe they can get in the top four. I think I had Villa just to miss out, if I'm being honest, top four, but they're having a great season. I had Tottenham in it. I had Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. So that's my top four. But Man City that was a big result for them as well the weekend. I mean, De Bruyne coming on and showing his class. Amazing to be away for so long and then come on and do that in a game where Newcastle done so well for long periods of the game. Then, you know, Man City is still, for me, the big favourites to beat. If you come above Man City, you win the league, put that one.
Yeah, what do you think's happening to Arsenal at the moment?
Well, it's dried up a little bit. Sometimes when a break comes around, it's a bad time for a team when you're doing well and you can't wait for the next game. But I think this break for Arsenal have come around at the right time. I mean, they can regroup, and they're still in the title race. There's no doubt about that. Of course, they've drifted in price. Of course, they're probably third favourites now. But, you know, for me, the next three games are vital now. They've got to get all three wins. Palace's next one at home, which you expect them to win that one. But now it's vital for them to regroup, go away, which they did to Dubai. They've probably had a couple of meetings and gone over certain aspects of the game, and go again, because, you know, it's 20 games in. There's still a long way to go, and every point is going to be so important. But I just think that they've created chances, but they're just dried up in front of goal. Again, the big question mark is they do need a striker, but at this time of the year, who's available? There don't seem to be a lot of players available, especially with financial situations now with certain clubs. I mean, £100 million for Tony, I wouldn't be buying it for £100 million if I'm being honest. And in the summer, they can regroup and look at it, and can look at around the world who's available, and there'll be a lot more players available probably, and go again. But, you know, it is a problem. There's no doubt about that. Central midfield probably is where they could strengthen as well, with Partey. Don't know what's happening with him. But, you know, you've got to look at the rules now. Look at Newcastle coming out last week saying, you know, we might have to sell one of our best players, because what's happened, I think Everton have scared everybody now. What's happened with Everton? The people now have got to go, wait a minute, we've got to stick by the rules here. We've got to somehow, you know, start trading players instead of keep buying, like Chelsea did and Man City did years ago when there was no restriction for that.
Mm-hmm. And Mikel's saying, don't worry about new signings. I've got a squad of world-class players here. I've got to get Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard scoring goals again like they did last season, and then
absolutely,
you won't be going about
that's important as well. I mean, Jesus coming back in, you know, I know he said he's not an out-and-out striker, and probably he's not like an Ian Wright back in the day, I should imagine, but he's still an important player for probably Odegaard, Saka, when he makes his runs and he pulls people out of positions. But people go through barren spells. He's just got to keep practicing. You've got to keep working hard in training, and hopefully it turns around for you. You know, Palace game is going to be vital now. They can get 2 or 3 goals against Palace. Sometimes it can give that confidence back and belief back into you. And every club goes through it. We used to go through it in November. We used to have a nightmare November. I don't know why. We couldn't put a finger on it. And you ask Arsene Wenger, he wouldn't be able to put a finger on it. But we seem to go off the ball a bit in November. So hopefully it's just a small blip for Arsenal's point of view. Spurs had that little blip a few games back. and they can get back to winning ways. But the next game is so important for Arsenal that they get all 3 points and get back on that winning trail again.
Yeah, it almost looks with sort of City, De Bruyne back and Rodri and Haaland to come. Arsenal have lost so many games now. I'd say it's only like 3 or 4, but they really can't afford to drop many more points anyway, can they?
No, not at all. I mean, you're looking at Man City now going to go, and they're so experienced to do what they're going to do, probably go on a massive run. And you just got to try and stay in the hunt. The most important thing, 6, 7 games out, I've always said, pressure kicks in then a little bit more if you've got a chance to win that title. But I just hope Arsenal got a chance, and Liverpool might be there and thereabouts. Tottenham, who knows who's going to be there and thereabouts. But then that's when you really need your squad hitting a good patch at the right time. Like we went through it in '98, didn't we? I was going through it just a minute ago. I mean, we was 12 points behind Manchester United, but we went on a run where we won 10 in a row, which, you know, I know the league might be a little bit different now, but if a team can go 4 or 5 wins in a row, then that can give you a massive chance. So Arsenal got to think like that. They've got to believe they can do that. And you know, they've got to learn lessons a little bit from last season, hopefully. It's still a young squad. It's still developing. It's still going to get bigger and better, hopefully. But if they can somehow get over the line this year, it's going to be a massive boost for the players going forward and the club itself.